want to walk into a building and just, look around.
True.
Well, even so, it's like, if you look at Netflix, Clerks 2 is not on Netflix.
No, the only Kevin Smith movie on there, I think, is like Yoga Hosers and Tusk. They're the only ones.
I think they have Clerks 1 actually on there.
They do now?
I think I saw it on. I think they have the first Clerks, but they don't have Clerks 2.
They probably out as well.
But the point is, it's like if you go to the streaming services, you're limited to what you can watch. It's whatever they currently have a contract to air on their streaming services. Redbox, they have a limited supply as well. So if there's something specifically like, well, let's put the point. I doubt Redbox is going to get that anytime soon. You would have to go to an actual video store to find that. So it's very possible. And even so, video stores can also do video games as well. And people do like sometimes to try it before you buy it, especially with video games going at $50 to $60 a pop nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, yes, you are right. Clerks is on Netflix. It's the only View Askew movie on Netflix, which is interesting. And then Tusk and Yoga Hosers are both on Netflix as well. That was a Kevin Smith movie. That's it. I don't think Cop Out is on here. I'm looking right now.
And judging by the selection there when he hit search, you can also finish off that nice little marathon viewing of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah, that came up with their Kevin Smith movies.
Which is odd because it's directed by Terry Gilliam.
Yeah, it actually is pretty funny when you pop up Kevin Smith on Netflix on the Netflix app. Those three movies are on top, obviously, and then there's Holidays, Hot Fuzz, and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's so random. It's just like no sense.
Random, but Hot Fuzz is awesome.
Hot Fuzz is being covered on Cornetto Minute.
Yeah.
Over there. They're doing that next. I think that's their third movie in their trilogy of movies they're doing over there. Or second movie. I don't remember what they're doing. I've got the order.
Well, no, the order was Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz.
And they're doing that now. They're doing Hot Fuzz right now then. They're doing Hot Fuzz. I'm not a Cornetto person, so I don't know all the movies, but they're doing that over there in Cornetto Minute. So there you go. Plug to Scott Corelli and Nick Jimenez.
Yeah, there's an idea for a movie by minute, though. Do one for Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
I can't say I've seen it. So
it's a very surreal movie. Then again, it kind of matches the book it was based off of. So
fair enough. That's definitely not a movie in my thing. Oh, okay. This is gonna date this whole episode. I really don't give a crap because this movie's coming out 2 months after this episode launches. Captain Marvel trailer. Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
Oh my god! Oh my god, it's amazing. And you're gonna pop crazy because the opening frame is at a Blockbuster. An old school, 90s Blockbuster. It's fucking amazing. I completely popped for the Blockbuster. I didn't expect that.
Actually, the last time I would have geeked out over something like that was the scene in Tomorrowland when they go to the antique shop and you have stuff like a whole shelf of Iron Giant merchandise. There's a Laserdisc for the Black Hole.
Well, there you go.
Well, again, the shelf full of Iron Giant merchandise was kind of obligatory considering it's a Brad Bird film.
Well, that is actually our minutes. Matt, I'll throw it to you. What is your history with Clerks 2? I know a lot of people like this movie a lot better than Clerks. So what's your history with this movie?
Well, when I found out they did a sequel, I was excited because I really loved the first one. I really wasn't on the fence about which one was better. I mean, personally for me, yeah, the production quality was definitely much better on Clerks 2, which is probably what most people look at where they're like, yeah, it's a better movie because of that. Me personally, I really like the rounding of the characters where, you don't have Dante just being this person who's just like, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be here. He's showing that he wanted to go forward. I mean, he may not have agreed with, through the whole entire movie, his, point with moving and getting a job in a car wash and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Because it just kind of seems ridiculous to begin with that you're basically living someone else's life. But it was showing them that, he had aged and he realized, working either at a Quick Stop or at basically the movie's version of McDonald's or Burger King wasn't really going to be the best option. He wanted to do something further with his life.
Although I'll be
but still seeing the development, going forward that he actually realized he was living someone else's life. And showing Randal evolve as a character where he wasn't just this useless character who didn't want to work. He actually, came up with an idea. He wanted to keep his friend. He wanted to continue forward with, now owning a business. So, I mean, overall, I really enjoyed this movie. Would I say I preferred it over the first Clerks? I wouldn't really say I prefer one over the other. I personally think I like them equally as each separate, not separate entity, but each movie for what it provides for the story.
Yeah, Kyle, you're going to jump in.
All right, hold on a moment. I was just trying to get something
Okay.
into there. Okay, all right. But I was gonna say, what I do like is that they really did develop the characters more in the sequel here.
It's true.
And they actually gave them a lot of hidden depths.
Yeah, it's actually been interesting for us to go through the movie like this, because when we were planning on this movie, because we had to do this movie because we did the first one, I'm like, this is my favorite kind of movie, and I made that very clear over the last few months doing this movie.
Oh, and a couple of points here. Number one, I would say that winding up with Rosario Dawson was far better than going to Florida.
I can't argue that point.
And,
I really can't.
and number two, does this help Dante redeem his behavior in the first movie?
What do you mean? Explain that.
Like, well, he was pretty much jokingly, he wasn't supposed to be here today while cheating on his girlfriend and all that. All that basically sabotaging himself. So does this kind of redeem his behavior in the first movie?
Well, what's interesting for me, and I like what you're thinking. For me, this almost is like he tried to sabotage himself in this movie.
Yeah.
By hooking up with Becky. I mean, that's kind of sabotaging his life here.
Yeah.
But now it's like, well, he was in his 20s, you fuck up in your 20s.
Yeah.
If you're fucking up in your 30s, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
That's what Randall's trying to explain to him. I'm like, you fucked up your own life, and there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it at this point.
So now he's basically taking the shitty hand he's been dealt instead of whining about it.
Or doing something about it himself.
Yeah.
And doing something about it, which is a bigger deal, really, to me, than even saying, well, do it with a shitty hand, because he's not. He's changing his life for the better on his own terms instead of somebody else's terms, which is a big difference than what we started this movie as.
And I'll say, as nice and as sweet and as lovely as a person as Mrs. Smith might be, Rosario Dawson's a better choice. I'm sorry.
But in real life, I'm never going to argue that point.
Yeah.
Well, even going based on like the character perspective, I mean, Rosario Dawson's character is free and happy to have Dante be the person he wants to be and not force him into being this cookie cut.
Yeah,
Whereas, you know, Mrs. Smith wanted him to live exactly this cookie cut life. This is the life that she wanted. This is what he had to do. So even going by that perspective, it's like, you know, he kind of traded upwards for something better because he was actually still going to be able to be his own person and not live someone else's life.
Exactly. I was going to say, the difference here is that Becky does love Dante for Dante. Yeah. It's not, I'm going to make you into a better person. I'm going to love you for you, which is a big story at the end of the day in this movie. Yeah. Really, it's a love the person for who they are instead of what you want them to be.
Yeah, and Emma basically just wanted to make him into a Stepford husband.
As you've clarified many times in this movie.
But basically just wants him to be this, you know, white picket fence 9 to 5.
Which is just not Dante.
Yeah.
It's just not him. Plus, I guarantee you, she doesn't want to hear about any of the stupid shit that him and Randal talk about. So keeping them apart will limit the really stupid, sick conversations she doesn't want to hear. That's another thing.
Yeah.
She doesn't like your best friend. Yeah. That's a problem, too.
Yeah.
You know, it's an issue.
And I'll be honest, as much of an asshole as Randal can be, there's still something fundamentally stupid about keeping your best friend apart.
Well, at the same time, he's a great friend. That's the one thing we've been joking about for both of these movies. He's an asshole. He's a prick. He's an asshole to everybody else in the world except for Dante.
Yeah.
He is a great, loyal friend at the end of the day.
Best illustrated with, hey, you break his heart again, I'll kill you.
Exactly, though. That's the point. He might, like I said, he's a prick, but it's like the brother mentality of like, I'll pick up my brother, but you can't pick. I'm not letting you pick up my brother. It's the same mentality here.
Yeah.
You know, except in a actual friendship way of looking at things. So it's not a bad way of looking at it. You know, so don't mind me. I'm looking something up for a future episode. Don't mind me. I'm doing some research for something. So that is that. That is our episode. Thank you, Matt, for coming on the show and being outside in the rain and dealing with us today and coming on the show. I appreciate it.
There's a hook in your left hand, isn't there?
No problem. Thank you for having me. I appreciate being on the show. I enjoyed the first one, even though I wasn't prepared for it, but this time I was.
Yeah, for those who they don't know this, but you're literally outside. We didn't say this on the air. You're outside in a hood, walking around with a tree behind you, looking very, very creepy. It's pretty funny.
Are you gonna give Jennifer a little?
Well, you know, It's better than being inside to wake a sleeping baby. You know, you don't really want to do that.
True.
You're going to try and drop Jennifer Love Hewitt a letter that says, "I know what you did," aren't you?
That old guy.
There's a hook in your left hand, isn't there?
Oh, man. All right, well, that's that. We're going to wrap things up here. You can actually hear our show. Everybody, we are reaching the end of the movie, which is insane. But just so people know, just because the movie's over, we have more stuff planned before the end of the series. So keep that in mind. The series is not over when this movie is over. So we're in the last week of the movie here. Thank you so much for downloading this show. You can finish listening to us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the next couple of weeks after we're done with the movie. Wednesday, we got a very special guest coming on from Comic Book Man, Ming Chen, coming on Wednesday's show. So tune in for that. And I believe if things fall the way they are, Ming is our last guest of the season, which is a very big deal for us. So you know where to find us at this point. I'm not going to plug all that. Find the Facebook group and talk to us in there. And find us on Twitter and Instagram at Clerks Minute. And that all being said, thank you so much for listening to Clerks Minute. Thank you, Matt, for coming on the show. I'm Blake.
I'm Kyle.
Have a good day, everybody.
I'd buy the Quick Stop and reopen it ourselves.
Noise, smoking weed, doing coke, drinking beers, rolling fatties, smoking blunts. Who smokes the blunts? We smoke the blunts, rolling blunts and smoking.